In a recent speech, Yvette Cooper addressed the pressing issue of grooming gangs and the government's response to the inquiry. She outlined the steps the Labour government claims to be taking to support the victims. However, many have criticised Labour for not going far enough. Instead of launching a national inquiry, they've pushed responsibility onto local councils, something that's not sitting well with the public. As tensions rise, Yvette Cooper faced tough questioning from MPs in Parliament. Watch this heated exchange as she's grilled over her government's approach to this deeply sensitive issue. The debate over whether enough is being done for the victims continues to intensify. Don't miss this moment of scrutiny.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I'm usually measured when I come here, and I'm worried that actually the Labour government is playing us for fools here today. The Home Secretary has come here and picked 5 out of 50 towns and given no statutory powers. She's announced a review by the incredibly able Baroness Casey, but she's already doing a review into social care, and the review is not a review, it's an audit. Isn't the truth that the good members on the other side went back to their constituencies, and there are many of them across the country, and realised the strength of feeling felt by the public that this needs a national inquiry? This side get it, most of the backbenchers on her side get it. Why doesn't the Home Secretary swallow her pride and do a national inquiry?
I would just say to the referendum, I was a member that I was one of those who called for the independent inquiry into child abuse very many years ago, and supported the independent inquiry into child abuse, and also supported the 2-year investigation by that independent inquiry into child sexual exploitation, as well as some of the other investigations that it did as part of it. But we also have a responsibility to act when there are more than 500 recommendations from inquiries that are just sitting there with dust gathering on them. What we have to do is make sure that we actually get action, including the audit that we need from Baroness Casey, who will be taking that forward over 3 months before the Commission on Social Care gets going, and also making sure that we've got stronger police investigations, because frankly, if the police investigations don't happen, no one is going to get the protection that they need. And for Tom Crowther to work with the first local areas that want to take forward, local authorities, in order to develop a model and a programme that can be used in other areas wherever it is needed.
Rupert Lowe.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. As well as withheld court transcripts, I've been pushing the Ministry of Justice for data on the following. How many Pakistani or other foreign rapists have been deported, are still in prison, did not serve a custodial sentence, are back in the same community as their victims, had previous convictions, have reoffended, full nationality breakdown of those involved in the gangs? The response: the requested information is not centrally identified in the data systems relevant to these questions. Now, if this was a state inquiry into the private sector, they would be accused of negligence. Now, my view on this, Madam Deputy Speaker, is that we firstly need a full national inquiry. This is a rotting stain on our country, and it needs to be exercised in full. It cannot continue to be kicked into the long grass. The British public want transparency, and they want to know the reason why this has taken so long to be dealt with.
Well, I would say to the honourable member that we do believe that better data needs to be collected, more comprehensive data. That's why I've said the overall data on child sexual abuse needs to be overhauled, including I'm making immediate changes to the gathering of data on ethnicity on both perpetrators and victims, because the system that we inherited from the previous government simply isn't strong enough, but we will need further changes as well. And on the issue around the foreign national offenders, where people have committed where foreign citizens have committed sexual offences in this country, they have no right to stay in this country, and we have to increase returns. And that is why, rightly, this government has increased returns of foreign national offenders by over 20% since the election.